I want to talk to you a little bit about being a data nerd, which I am, self-professed. And that's not to say that I'm phenomenal at data. Like, I'm not like doing advanced quadratic equations in my head. I'm not doing basic math in my head anymore. I don't know if that's me getting old or just being stupid. But really, being a data nerd has more to do with wanting to rely very heavily on the data. There's a quote by Onyx Singal that I love. He says that marketing is not a creative endeavor. It's a data-driven endeavor with creative elements. And I agree with that strongly. And I agree with it more now than ever because the privacy-first world has put us in a position where the data that we used to have has been narrowed down, and so the data that you do have is it's gold. It's gold, and it needs to be relied upon. However, we need to be careful, us data nerds, and we need to be careful because humans are pattern recognition machines, and we have to be. We have to be pattern recognition machines because way back in the day, like if somebody ate a berry and they died, maybe that's bad luck for them. If a second person ate a berry and they died, then that tends to be all the data points we need to never eat those berries again. But who knows what could have happened? Like maybe they were cohabitating and they both had the Black Plague or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an anthropologist. I can't say. But the point that I'm making is I think that we tend to try to identify patterns way sooner than they're really relevant or potentially impactful. And I found this awesome. Well, I didn't find it. My buddy Steve Sims posted it. So shout out to Steve. Thank you for this. Steve posted this on Facebook. And it's all these weird, ridiculous correlations. So U.S. spending on science, space, and technology versus the number of people who died by suicide, hanging, strangulation, and suffocation. Exact correlation. Number of people who drowned by falling in a pool compared to all the films that Nicolas Cage has appeared in. So basically, every time Nicolas Cage is in a movie, somebody's going to drown. Per capita cheese consumption compared to number of people who died by becoming tangled in their bed sheets. First of all, 800 people a year are dying by being tangled in their bed sheets. That makes me feel so sad. Divorce rate in Maine and the per capita consumption of margarine. First of all, we are not eating nearly enough margarine as people. I realize now that poor margarine industry. And look at all the folks in Maine sticking it out. Good for you. Must be all the crab cakes. I know nothing about Maine. Age of Miss America and murders by steam, hot vapors, and hot object. I didn't know that could be a thing. That's terrifying. And Miss America travels between 18 and 25 years old. Which, that frustrates me a little bit because I'd like to see someone with a little bit more life under her belt. I have no opinions on Miss America. I'm just kidding. Total revenue generated by arcades. Computer science doctorate awards in the U.S. This makes perfect sense, by the way. Like, of course, the more computer nerds we have, the more money people would be spending on arcade games. This is fine. I'm all about this one. Worldwide non-commercial space launches, sociology doctorates awarded. Well, the more irrelevant stuff we do, the more irrelevant doctorates we're going to give out. Ha! Take that, sociology people. I'm not even apologizing. Per capita consumption of mozzarella cheese, civil engineering doctorates awarded. Anyway, I'm not going all over all these. I'll include a link to this in the description because it's super fun and funny. The point being, be careful. Be careful with the correlation is causation thing, because we've done this to ourselves. We've done this to ourselves in our own campaign. As a matter of fact, I'd say that our campaign suffers more than any other. Me and my business partner John, we're tinkerers, and with clients, it's really easy to separate yourself and to be unemotional and say, no, this is going to take time. But for us, we're like, oh my goodness, we spot the trend, and then we change things, and we go back and realize, like, no, we misread that, and we misread it because we didn't give it enough time. And so, I think the way to guard against that is to zoom out. And then there's also things that you can do, from a lever pole perspective, to test. So when you identify what you believe to be a data-driven truth, test it first, especially if it's a major big change in your campaign or your account. Because you might find out like, oh no, that I thought that these two things correlated, but when I turned one off, the other one continued along its merry way or whatever, and then you go back to the drawing board. And even though correlation isn't causation, sometimes correlation is still really helpful to have in hand, because it can act as signals upon which you can act, but you just want to be careful about being too aggressive with that. Anyway, I hope this video was awesome, just like all my videos. And thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know we actually know what we're doing. We shoot a video every single day, so if you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any input, don't hesitate to hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We get very little human interaction. Thanks for supporting our channel, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.